Hey, I'm Paige DeSorbo, and I'm always thinking about underwear.
I'm Hannah Burner, and I'm also thinking about underwear, but I prefer full coverage. I like to call them my granny panties.
Actually, I never think about underwear. That's the magic of Tommy John.
Same. They're so light and so comfy, and if it's not comfortable, I'm not wearing it.
And the bras, soft, supportive, and actually breathable.
Yes, Lord knows the girls need to breathe. Also, I need my PJs to breathe and be buttery soft and stretchy enough for my dramatic tossing and turning at night. That's why I live in my Tommy John pajamas.
Plus, they're so cute because they fit perfectly.
Put yourself on to Tommy John.
Upgrade your drawer with Tommy John. Save 25% for a limited time at TommyJohn.com/comfort. See site for details.
Last episode, we watched Excalibur!
This week, we watched Merlin.
The connection is, of course, Merlin!
Oh, I sure hope it's not the same story as last episode.
Do you need a lozenge, lady?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Welcome, boys and girls, to an epic not fairy tale of Excalibur, which is kind of the movie we watched this week, but also was the movie last week, but also this one was more focused on Merlin this time.
Well, that would be because it's called Merlin. You only welcomed boys and girls. Are elves and fairies and ghouls allowed?
Fuck 'em.
Oh, that's not very inclusive of you.
I'm not. I'm Sir Lancelot of the Round Table. I'm kind of... Like, in this one, I'm just kind of a piece of shit, actually.
Oh,
like,
you suck.
Yeah.
Gotcha, that's why you're playing the character.
In the
You
last
suck.
version,
Gotcha,
he was kind of like a good guy, but he fell for the... In this one, he was just kind of bad.
Mouse.
Are you okay? Are you alright?
Oh, Frick! That's my name.
Oh, your name is Ofric?
Yes, it's short for fuck.
And explicit tag. Welcome to Oldie but a Goodie. I am Zach. This is my co-host Sandro. And we are rehashing the same story as last week on the movie Merlin.
Yeah, well, movie is a term that you could use for this. A TV two-part TV movie.
Yeah. That's a movie.
I guess.
You're always in on this, like, I don't know if this fits in the definition of movie. But what is the definition of movie, Sandro?
I mean, look, you could argue that, like, it is a 3-hour movie with a day-long interlude in the middle when it was airing on TV.
Yes.
So
That's what I'll argue.
I think that works.
Absolutely.
Maybe, kinda. I guess.
God,
we can
it
review
was
it. Who
long.
cares?
Could have cut out an hour here and there, but you know, we watched it and it was funny because of course we went from Excalibur to Merlin, you know.
Yeah.
There was one could say a lot of overlap.
Too much, one might say. So we're saying last week we did Excalibur, but that was 2 weeks ago because we had PAX in the middle of that. I'm really glad that the timing worked out, that we had a week break in between Excalibur and this, because watching those back to back probably would have been tiresome and repetitive.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that was just lucky. That was lucky because going from that to this, it was just like we just watched most of the same story. I would say there's significant enough differences that it makes it quite interesting.
I agree. There's quite a lot of differences. Yes.
I think the other one last week is like I knew all the stories anyway, right? And so this is kind of the same thing where I already knew the story, but it told it in a different way, so it was interesting. I feel like it was
adds
much
some
the
new
same.
stuff. It takes a bunch away, changes focus,
Adds a lot of
changes
CGI.
a lot of things. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's 1998's Merlin was what.
Oh,
was what you picked.
1998.
Yeah.
Oh, I watched the 2005 Merlin.
Wait, what do you mean?
Oh, sorry. No, I watched the Disney cartoon version of the Merlin.
Oh, no. We're watching
I watched
Merlin
from Seven Deadly Sins. Just the episodes that she's in. It's also a girl in that one.
No, true. I thought we were watching Merlin from 2008 with Colin Morgan, heavily inspired by Doctor Who.
That's the one. That's the one I watched.
Right. Because when you said CGI, I thought you meant that one.
Yeah. That's fair. Oh dear. Yeah, there's a lot of Merlins going around.
There's a lot. Yeah, there are actually a lot of versions of the King Arthur story that focus on Merlin, which is interesting because I think it makes sense for the Merlin TV show because you've got Colin Morgan as Merlin who's learning to be a wizard while also learning how to protect Arthur at the same time.
Yeah.
So you've got a bit more conflict there. It's, they're the same age, first of all, and they're in love. So there's a lot just kind of going on in that show. But then when you, it always fascinated me that there were shows focusing on Merlin, movies focusing on Merlin where he's an old man and Arthur's a lot younger, or a middle-aged man, or whatever. Because I'm but that wouldn't be interesting. But it is, actually. It kind of works.
It is actually interesting because the story can change so much between different editions. Because it's they could be the same age, growing up together. They could be, one could be way older than the other. It's interesting how the dynamic also changes in between.
Yes.
I think my favorite version of Merlin is the more mysterious old man, right?
Okay.
Where you don't actually know where the heck he's come from. You just know he's been around. A bit more like your Gandalfs.
Yeah.
Your Dumbledores until they made a whole backstory for him.
I like the backstory of him. Dumbledore versus Gay Wizard Hitler is one of my favorite movies of all time. Actually, no, it isn't. It sucked. Never mind.
Vader until they went and made a backstory for him, and that sucked.
I liked him in one episode of the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show that was really bad.
Ooh. Yeah, my point being that, sometimes giving a backstory to a character is a disservice to them.
And I think it's, we'll get into whether it's services or disservices in this, but it was interesting to have a backstory for someone who never actually gets one, usually. Yeah,
you can kind of make up whatever. And I'm going to say it right now, I think they did a pretty good job.
I don't disagree with you. I think they did a really interesting, because it is split in half, and the first half is Merlin's origin story, and then the second half is all the King Arthur stuff. Yeah. And that first half, where it's all Merlin stuff, I was like, this is really, it's really interesting. There's some really interesting stuff in there. Some great ideas, and we'll get into all of that in spoilers, but yeah, at first I was like, how are they going to do an origin story for Merlin that isn't the TV show Merlin? But then it turns out the TV movie Merlin did a pretty good job as well.
Yeah. Well, you pretty much go hog wild. You could be like, well, they need a fucking wizard, so they fucking made one,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I quite enjoyed this movie series. It was very long.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's 3 hours.
It is 3 hours. So I did it in 2 sittings, just like the movie intended. No,
I mean, yes, that's true.
I did the proper viewing experience for this one, which is I watched it until I got tired and I went to bed. But I thought it was good. I liked his backstory. I like his story for the most part. I got a lot of gripes here and there going around, but
yeah.
But I liked the depictions of the characters that we had already seen last week.
Yeah.
I think that lady desperately needed a lozenge. Jesus Christ.
We'll get to her. We'll get to Queen Mab later. That's a whole different kettle of fish.
Yeah, I'm like, good lord, lady.
It's impressive she kept it up for so long.
Yeah, well, it was because she was screaming all the time. That was her problem.
Well, that's, yes.
It was funny that the henchman had a fucking story arc.
Oh, Martin Short as Frick. Yeah, that was great.
It's just like more story than like half of the round table, like most of the round table. He has more story than Lancelot, who is in the movie and has an important role in the movie.
Yeah. If you thought that Excalibur sped through the story, this one somehow, it's longer, but it somehow manages to speed through it even quicker because it doesn't focus on it. So
yeah, well, that's it.
It speeds through so quickly through some of the stuff that we saw last episode.
It is interesting because this time it just doesn't care about the other stuff.
Nah, not really.
So it just is like, here's this thing, like right at the end, the very end, and this is a slight spoiler, but like it just like there's a minute sentence where it's like, oh yeah, they went and got the Holy Grail. That was it. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
What? That's a whole thing, and you're just like, oh yeah, they went and did that. You know.
Yeah. No.
So
that is a big part of it.
So like. It is funny in that aspect, whereas last week we got, like, sped run through. This is just, like, skipping over, essentially.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
I will say I greatly preferred last week as a version of the King, because I think that was a version of King Arthur. Like, that was a majestic, artistic interpretation of the story. This is like, if I saw this as a kid, this would have been my favorite Merlin.
Yeah.
If I saw this one as a kid, I would have been like, hell yeah, this is my favorite. And then I grow up and I watch Excalibur and I'm like, oh, extraness in this. I like this very much. This is very good.
Yeah.
But I think watching this for the first time as like an adult, it's good. Don't get me wrong, it is good, but I do prefer the other version by quite a lot. Just because this is less arty and it's just telling you the story, which is fine. Also, the CGI was pretty good. We should talk about that in a bit.
Honestly, better than a lot of movies we've reviewed. Of movies we've reviewed. I'll say, like, last week was a better, Excalibur story because that's what it was focusing on. It was focusing on those legends, whereas this movie wasn't focusing on those legends. They were there, and, like, it had some of it, but it was more focusing on specifically Merlin as a character. So, you think you would have preferred it if they were more focused on some of the legends, then?
I don't think I would have preferred it. I think it would have been a different thing. Honestly, I think I would have preferred this if they went even longer. Go 4.5 hours, make it 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Like the
I can see
Dune
that.
TV show from around the same time, which honestly isn't very good, but we should review it at some point. That's 4.5 hours long to do the whole story. But yeah, like I think that maybe it was a little too short in points. That might be why, like, I loved the first half, and then when we got to the second half, I was a little tired, a little done with like whenever it was like kind of just like recounting what we had last episode but not as well, I was like but then at the very end I was brought back around. So
I think it suffered from the fact that we had just viewed a different version of this.
That's
and
also
so
very
bits
true.
that we would like in the previous version that weren't in here would miff you, right? You're like, oh, but I actually liked that bit in Excalibur, and you've kind of skipped over that,
Yeah.
I think it suffers a bit from that. And if we hadn't watched that one, it probably would have just been fine.
I mean, that's true. Also, I think, though, like, this is for a different audience. Like, there's some stuff in here with, particularly the character of Mordred, which we'll get into more in spoilers, but, like, his interpretation in this is so different to Excalibur, and I like them both, I think, equally as much.
I would say I liked him better in this version.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of vibed with him. In the last one, he's good. He's all right. But I think in this one, he's a bit more sassy, He's a bit more sassy and a bit more psychopathic.
Well,
which
yes.
I think I liked on both accounts,
Also, a big difference between Excalibur and this one, Merlin, is they've added a kind of like a bigger overarching villain, which we'll get to in spoilers. And that was interesting, because I think that kind of hampered story points.
Ooh, okay.
But we'll get to that more later.
I want to dive into that when you're talking about it, because I'd like to see what you think about that. But yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about the visuals, though. Like, this came out, 1998? This is a TV movie.
TV as well, yeah.
And it looks better than so much shit that came like in the decade after this. This looks really good. Like, really good for the time. It doesn't look amazing now, like, compared to nowadays standards, but it looks very good, considering.
I think the CGI dragon looks slightly better than the one in the Merlin 2008 TV show.
I would say a lot better, honestly.
A lot better? I would say it's a lot better. It's still a little rough around the edges, but, like...
All right. 40% better. How about that?
40% better for a 10-year difference is pretty wild.
Yeah.
Especially when it's, like, around this time where CGI was, like, the technology was, like, quadrupling each year. Like, it really goes to show.
No, definitely.
The Mountain King looked pretty cool.
The Rock of Ages, voiced by Darth Vader himself.
Yes, J-Mel Jones.
The Rock of Ages. Yeah, that looked really good. Yeah, that looked great.
He was pretty cool. We've got some magic scenes. We got some viewing of things. I'll say the CGI was quite good.
I liked all of the because we have Martin Short in this as like the sidekick to the baddie of the whole thing, and he like transforms into people.
I was just gonna say that. I was literally speaking of effects, right?
Yeah.
When he transforms, it looks really, really good. I love whatever effect. It's like half. It's like mostly practical, I think. Where essentially he just does a spin, and he's got like a costume on the back that they like blend in. I'm like, that would hold up right now. Right now, if they came out with that and someone did that, I'd be like, that's pretty cool.
That stuff is great. There's parts where like his he disguises himself as a different actor, and then that disguise like melts off of him, and you see his actual face.
Yeah,
it looks phenomenal. I'm like, this came out in 1998.
That stuff was extremely well done. I will give them props. I was genuinely impressed.
Yes.
If that came out today, I'd be like, oh, that's pretty good. You know, I like that. And it came out in 1998, so yeah.
The outfits as well are pretty good. They're not entirely like accurate to the time period, but it doesn't really matter because they still look really good. I think like you compare it to Excalibur, which was phenomenal. Like this is still really good with the costumes.
Yeah, there weren't any orc bad guys, so I was a little miffed on it, you know. But like otherwise, it was pretty good.
Oh, we do get like some supernatural creatures. We get like fairies and stuff, and they're all like sped up. It's very odd.
Yeah. And like rat dog things that attack them.
Oh, I forgot about
that. Yeah. It's like one scene where they get attacked by these rat dog things. They're not great on the CGI department, those rat dog things.
No, they are. They might be some of the worst stuff. And yeah, like the dragon. There is a dragon in this, and it's better than Dragonheart, and it's better than Merlin 28. So you know, like pretty good. Did you like the acting though? We got heaps of
it was all heaps
of actors. Well,
no, it was surprisingly good because they had a surprising like assortment of actors where it's like it's one of those things where it's like I think most of these actors were not as famous back then as they would be now, you know?
It's interesting because it's a real mix, yeah.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag, though. It's a mixed bag. But it's also really funny, like, let me start off with Lena Headey.
Oh, yes.
Who is playing a queen in this one, which some could say may have helped her in roles in the future, playing royalty and or queens and or something.
She I'm trying to figure out what you're thinking of. She plays a queen. She's quite like royal. 300.
Yeah.
The movie 300?
Yes,
yeah,
that's
right,
what you're thinking of.
Yeah, she was great as Guinevere. I really liked her. I think one of my favorite performances is Rutger Hauer as the bad king in the first half. He's from like Blade Runner and stuff. He's great. Yeah,
I was going to mention he was the bad guy in Blade Runner as Rotty, whatever his name was.
I don't remember. Mister, I'm a robot. Don't look at me. I'm a robot man. I'm a robot. I'm gonna blow you up.
Yeah,
that's his character.
He's great. He seems to like pop up in a few random things, but every time I see him, I'm like, oh, that's a guy. That's a good guy. That's a good actor right there.
He's a great actor, and yeah, like he was phenomenal even in that first half. I think, yeah, it's like I think he's in this because his star power had faded maybe a little bit. So he was more able to be in this, whereas Lena Headey isn't quite there yet. So that's why she's in this.
No. I don't think she really had any big star power at that time.
No.
Speaking of actors with not huge star power yet, Helena Bonham Carter as Morgan Le Fay.
Also known as Morgana. Ba, ba, ba. Yeah.
Also known as Yennefer from the Witcher series, because they pretty much went through that story arc.
Oh yeah, for real. I didn't even realize that. That's very true.
That was my like, haha. You see, they both have black hair, Sandro, so I'm smart by making this link.
You know what? You're right. Yeah, she was in stuff before this, but this is like right before Fight Club when I feel like she blew up. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Her performance is ableist, but we'll get to that.
Wow, Sandro.
It's interesting. I guess it's not really a spoiler, but for a lot of this, Morgana has, my partner described it as Hunchback of Notre Dame disease. She just kind of like looks and talks like Quasimodo, and they never really explain it. It's just written off as she's ugly.
Yep.
That was a little bit rough, but when she eventually becomes Morgana, actually, that was pretty cool. I think she did a good job.
Don't worry, Sandro. They got rid of that nasty, ugly lady and put a nice, beautiful one for you, so you don't have to worry if it's ableist or not.
That's true. We've already talked about Martin Short as Frick. I liked him as the comedic relief.
He was a funny guy. It was so funny he had an arc in this. I was not expecting that.
Yeah. Isabella Rossellini from Blue Velvet, heaps of David Lynch stuff because they were married for a bit. She's good in this. That's not really a surprise. She's just not really in it much, but she's there.
Yeah. She's sidelined as like female love interest, and that's all she does. And it's I will get into it when we get into it. Let's stop beating around the bush. Sam Neill. Sam Neill's in this.
Oh, he's Merlin.
Sandro, Sam Neill. He's in this movie. I'm not sure if you saw it or not, but he was there.
My name's Sam Neill, and I'm from New Zealand, but everyone says I'm Australian. I'm in the movie. It's me, Sam Neill. I am Merlin. I'm Merlin.
What's your favorite Sam Neill movie?
I don't even know. That was one thing, watching this movie, I realized something about Mr. Sam Neill. Now, we've reviewed a few things with him in it before. I think we've done a Jurassic Park. We did The Dish. That's a good one. Yep. My thing with Sam Neill, and I want to get your thoughts on this, is I feel like Sam Neill is such a good actor that he can be the leading man in any genre and it's believable. He can do a comedy. He's funny. He can do a horror. He's scary. He can do an action film. You're like, damn, is that Bruce Willis or Sam Neill? I can't tell. He can do this. He can be Merlin. Name me another actor who can do that, and you just immediately believe it. I don't think there is one.
Danny DeVito.
Look, you jest, but actually, no. But
the correct answer
accurate.
was Peter Rabbit. Was the best.
Peter Rabbit?
That's the best
what are you
Sam
talking about?
Neill movie, starring James Corden.
He's in that?
As Peter Rabbit. Apparently, he's in that one.
Didn't know he was in that. That's a bit of a letdown, actually. It's a bit of a shame.
I didn't know Daisy Ridley was in that movie. There you go.
Wow, how about that? But anyway, no, he's great. Going into the movie, I was like, Sam Neill as Merlin? Don't believe it. Don't believe it. Get it out of here. And then as soon as it started, I was like, nah, he can be the main character in any genre and it works. He's great.
Oh, going into this, I was like fully on board. I'm like, yeah, no, Sam Neill, I would cast him. Absolutely. Like going into this movie, I'm like, I could see that, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like he works well as, I don't know. For me, he played it a bit more brighter than I thought he would, because he has a bit of a stern look to him. You know what I mean? I feel like he could have, if I was to cast him as a Merlin, he would be a bit more. To be fair, I think he would be a bit more like old man Merlin in this movie.
That's what I was thinking as
well.
Where
we don't see as much old man Merlin in this movie as just sort of like middle-aged Merlin.
Yeah.
But I would cast him more as old man Merlin, where he's like a bit gruff and he's like, people don't care about magic anymore. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to do this shit? Fine, but I'm not fucking happy about it, you know?
That would have been great. Old man Merlin, I'm too old for this shit. And he's doing tricks and shit. He's like, I gotta kill a dragon. Oh, what a good, I'm gonna write that. I'm gonna write that movie. We can call it Old Man Merlin.
Old MM.
Yep. But no, he's good. He was so good, Zach, that he was asked to be Gandalf in the Peter Jackson stuff because of this. I think at some point he auditioned to be Bond as well, but obviously he's New Zealand, so they didn't. They were like, he's got to be English or whatever. So that didn't happen. But he was gonna be Gandalf, but then he was like, I'm doing Jurassic Park 3, so he turned it down.
Ooh, bit of a rough call, that one, I think.
I don't know. I actually, genuinely, that movie, go back to our episode on it. I can't remember if I liked it, but in hindsight, that's a pretty fun film. Anyone else to mention? Arthur's in this. He's an Australian actor who doesn't have a Wikipedia page, but he's in Wolf Creek, so that's cool.
Curran? Yeah.
Yeah, Paul Curran. He hasn't done much. He's fine.
Miranda Richardson is the Lady of the Lake.
And Queen Mab.
And
she's
Queen
both
Mab.
of them.
Was she?
Yeah, she's both of them.
That. Yeah.
Yeah, she plays both. I liked her. I mean, Queen Mab is as soon as she was on screen, I went, are we watching Power Rangers? What's happening here?
Yeah.
She kind of looks like a Power Rangers witch, and it threw me off. And the voice is, Merlin!
Sandra,
just the whole time.
Have you been reading the letterbox?
No.
Okay, because one of the reviews specifically mentions that she's a Power Rangers villain.
Hell yeah.
So you're not wrong.
I predicted it straight out the gate.
Yeah, that's funny. Do you know who I really loved? Probably one of my favorite actors of the movie is Jason Don.
Who did he play?
He played the one I met, the one that we were talking about before, Mordred.
Oh, Mordred.
Yeah,
he was
I really
good.
liked him. I really liked
him
it.
too.
I did not expect it. He was really good at being like a sociopathic kind of villain, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Where he was like kind of a rich boy, but kind of just like, haha, I'm evil, but I don't kind of care because I'm a sociopath, so I don't care, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
And I wish he
really
was in
liked him as well.
more movies.
Seems like he mainly does soap operas.
Yeah, he does a lot of TV stuff, which is fair. But he's done a few movies. So yeah, I might have to check out his catalogue at some point. And of course, Nicholas Clay is in this one as well. He's kind of one of the background lords. So it's funny that he's cast in this one as just like a background lord, but in Excalibur, he was Lancelot, you know?
Oh, I forgot that was a possible connection that you could have made, but then you went with Merlin instead.
Yes,
yeah,
that was actually the reason I picked this movie, was my backup connection was Nicholas Clay. But he doesn't actually do much. I think, is he the lord that, like, yells at them?
Lord Leo. I don't know. He might be.
Yeah.
I don't know which character he is. There's also King Constant in this one is played by a guy called John Gielgud, who's an actor from like the 40s, who I think did a lot of like Shakespeare and King Arthur type stuff as well. So he's in this for like a quick cameo as well, which is cool.
I think it was John Turner's the one I was thinking of. John Turner's good. He plays like the lord that is like, you're not my king, I'm gonna start a war because you're not my king. And then the king is like, nah. And then he's like, actually, you're the best, I love you.
A classic moment in the story.
So yeah, that was John Turner, who I liked a lot. He sounded like Gimli at some point, and I was like, did that guy play Gimli? Because he was great.
Yeah, that's fair. That's true. All right, Zach, oldie or a goodie?
That's a good question. I'm going to give it a goodie. I feel like it. I'm going to give it a goodie. I think it lost a bit because we had just seen Excalibur, which
Yeah,
hurt it a bit. But I think it managed to stand up on its own merits and was quite entertaining, especially for it being 3 hours long. That's quite impressive that it managed to keep me entertained.
Yeah.
But still a bit long, and it had a lot of problems. But I'd watch this again. This is fun. It had some fun.
Yeah.
moments.
I think it works if you split it up, watch one part in one night, second part another night. I think it kind of works if you watch it how it's intended to be watched. If you binge it, you probably get pretty sick about halfway through. Yeah, I see. I'm at a crossroads because I don't think this is better than the Lord of the Rings animated movie, but I don't want to give this an oldie because I really did enjoy a lot of it.
You can give it an oldie. That's fine.
But I want to. That's the thing is, I'm like, it's Lord of the Rings was better, but I gave that an oldie because I'm like, would I recommend that to anyone? Probably not, because I more just liked it historically. Whereas I'm like, with this one, I think I will. I think I would recommend it to people because it's a fun Merlin King Arthur adventure. If you're a fan of that, I'd be like, have you seen this? Go check it out if you haven't. So I will give it a goodie. I think it's got a bunch of things that push it over the line. I think the acting, the special effects, the cheesiness as well. There's a lot of like stuff to laugh at, which I think is good. So
yeah,
I recommend it. I'll give it a goodie. But
so you like Merlin? So you like magic?
Yes.
So you like the King Arthur stories?
Yes.
Well, go watch Excalibur. Anyway,
it's better. It is a lot better. I think as well, it is a disservice that we've done them both back to back in terms of enjoyment, but it's a plus in terms of content because then we can compare them.
Yeah, we're going to compare them the whole time now. It's going to be great. It's like an unofficial bonus battle.
Yeah, but let's do taglines before we jump into spoilers. First tagline. The most magical adventure of all time.
That was pretty good.
We go.
It's turning radio presenter, like British radio presenter, but that's okay. I'm down with it.
It is just a little bit.
I'm going to give it a thumbs up. I have no idea what you said, but I was really on board with it.
Okay. The second and final one is imagine a world where dreams come true and magic is real.
All right, I imagined it.
Yep.
Dreams don't really come true in this one. I'm going to give that a shaky thumbs down.
I think it's more like if you're a kid and you dreamed of this, like you dreamed of magic.
Yeah, but I would have to specifically dream this. Like,
well, that's okay. Yeah,
my dreams look like the never-ending story. Thank you very much.
Well,
that's where dreams come
the Rock
true.
of Ages looked like the never-ending story.
That's why I mentioned it.
Yes, but better.
Boo.
Fuck that movie. Anyway.
Next.
That's that's all the taglines.
Oh, that was it. Oh, sorry.
It.
I was waiting for the next tagline. Yeah. I can't believe you do the rock guy like that. What was his name? He had fingers, and he's like, "Oh, not my big strong hands."
I don't know what his name is.
My big strong hands. He couldn't hold on to the guy, and he's really sad about it. He's like, "Fuck, my big strong hands." That's literally 90% of my personality
his whole character
being strong, and I wasn't strong enough. You know, that hit hard. You know, because that's like. It's a real look into the male mentality, right? Where your whole personality might be being strong and other things, but when you're not strong enough, what does that leave you with? You know, toxic masculinity and all that. You know,
I kinda, yeah, a little, yeah. I guess I see what you're putting down.
So I'm glad we agree that it is in fact the best movie of all time. All right,
no, I think it sucks. Actually.
Take control of the numbers and supercharge your small business with Xero. That's Xero. With our easy-to-use accounting software with automation and reporting features, you'll spend less time on manual tasks and more time understanding how your business is doing. 87% of surveyed U.S. customers agree Xero helps improve financial visibility. Search Xero with an X or visit Xero.com/ACAST to start your 30-day free trial. Conditions apply.
Hey, I'm Paige DeSorbo, and I'm always thinking about underwear.
I'm Hannah Burner, and I'm also thinking about underwear, but I prefer full coverage. I like to call them my granny panties.
Actually, I never think about underwear. That's the magic of Tommy John.
Same. They're so light and so comfy, and if it's not comfortable, I'm not wearing it.
And the bras, soft, supportive, and actually breathable.
Yes, Lord knows the girls need to breathe. Also, I need my PJs to breathe and be buttery soft and stretchy enough for my dramatic tossing and turning at night. That's why I live in my Tommy John pajamas.
Plus, they're so cute because they fit perfectly.
Put yourself on to Tommy John.
Upgrade your drawer with Tommy John. Save 25% for a limited time at TommyJohn.com/comfort. See site for details.
Well, howdy there. Selly McSella here, back with another ad, and this one is really exciting because over on patreon.com/oldie but a goodie, the podcasters you're listening to right now, Sandra and Zach, have finally returned to their epic mega series on the X-Men franchise. They're up to the prequels. They're doing First Class, which is technically the second prequel because of Origins. Forget about it. Here's a clip. The year is 2011.
Good times.
In that year, I'm going to the cinema to watch X-Men First Class, the first X-Men movie I ever saw in the cinema.
I can relate to this, yeah. Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
I look up at the name, and I'm like, damn, X-Men First Class. That must be because this movie is going to be first class, like premium, on a plane. It's the first class of a plane. It's premium. And Zach, it wasn't until 2 years ago that I realized that it's called First Class because it's the first class Professor X teaches. I genuinely thought it was because this movie was so premium. The whole time. That's why I thought it was called that.
Sheesh, that's some lore right there.
Well, you can grab that episode right now over at patreon.com/oldie but a goodie pod. It's a long one, too. It's the length of a normal episode. That's wild. That's so long. And as they get further into Fox's X-Men franchise, particularly the prequel era, those episodes might just get as long as 3 hours for X-Men Apocalypse, because that one's fantastic and they love it so much. Patreon.com/oldie but a goodie pod. Also get ad-free episodes so you never have to listen to me shill for Patreon ever again. I'm an American. My name's Sally McSeller. Let me get the URL in one more time. Patreon.com/oldie but a goodie pod. You sick of it yet? Yeehaw!
Merlin!
Spoilers! Watch out. I mean, we can go through the plot of some of it, because there's some of it that we'll just be rehashing. But we'll jump into it. Why not?
Map is like, I'm a Virgin Mary, this bitch.
What?
And gets a lady prego.
you said Map, and I was like, who's Map? And then Mad. But Map is very funny to call.
Yes.
We'll call her Map from now on.
That's what
Queen
I was going to
Map.
call her, because that's what I heard her name as for most of the film. And I'm like, is her name Map? Because that's a very silly name. It is not, obviously.
No, it's Queen Mab, which is interesting because Queen Mab is a historical character, but she's a historical character from Midsummer's Night Dream. She's not in any way, in anything but this, associated with the King Arthur story.
Yeah, it's weird, because they usually make Morgana, or more... I can't call her Morgana, all right?
They call her Morgan in this.
Yes, she's Morgan Le Fay.
Yeah.
Sometimes referred to as Morgana, but Morgana's a League of Legends character, and I can't
Really?
say it with a yeah. Which and this might shock you, but it's a black-haired girl with pale skin that casts spells.
Oh, purple witch vibe. Yeah.
Which is so weird. I wonder what it's inspired by.
Well, I will call her Morgana because in the TV show from 2008, she's called Morgana, and so I call her
there you
Morgana
go.
because of
But
that.
yes, Morgan Le Fay, aka Morgana, aka Bellatrix Lestrange, aka
I can jump in for a save if you want.
You need the save because I don't watch Tim Burton films.
She's
Queen of Hearts.
Oh, there you go.
Did it?
You got
Did
it. That's a lot better than what I was going to say, which is the ape that Mark Wahlberg has sex with in the Planet of the Apes reboot that Tim Burton directs.
No, that's way better. That's way better. You should have jumped in with that. She would have been an interesting villain, and she's usually the villain. And like in Excalibur,
Yes, she's the
main
villain in that. Yeah.
Whereas in this one, Mab is the Morgana essentially, because she does she literally like takes over from the role.
Yes.
That Morgana usually plays, because in the previous version, Morgana like is the one manipulating things and then is having this baby so that she can rule over, and that's her plan. But instead, Mab is the one that manipulates like Morgana into sleeping in, and then is like, actually, I'm going to betray you and take your son away from you. Yes. Which is interesting.
It is. I guess the thinking is half of this movie takes place before Morgana's even born. So they're like, who do we make the bad guy? We can't have a movie with no bad guy because people won't care. And so they're like, we'll bring in Queen Mab. Honestly, I liked that we have this character in this movie, because if they made Morgan Le Fay dress up like that and talk like that for the whole movie, I would have been like, I can't believe they've done my favorite villain of the King Arthur story like that. I can't believe they've done Morgana like that. But because it's a different character, I don't care. And so I'm here for the dumbness of her being like, Merlin, you got to get your Power Rangers together, Merlin.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just interesting that they decided to do it that way. And I'm not fully against it.
Yeah.
I just really hated Mab's voice. I did not like it.
It sounded painful, right? It
sounded... It's like, that's really the voice you're going to do for the whole fucking movie? Yikes.
And I think part of the reason why it was so painful was, you know, me and you, as well as our editor Starkey last weekend, we were at the gaming convention in Melbourne called PAX. I don't know about you, I lost my voice halfway through Saturday, and the event went until Sunday night. So my voice was dead for pretty much the entire weekend. And then watching this, it just hurt more. It made my voice actively hurt more. And so it was quite painful to watch this movie because of that.
Yeah, I just don't think it was a good voice.
No, that's also a fair point, I think.
It wasn't very intimidating, you know? It was like just more like creepy and weird.
Yeah.
I think for me, the problem is I've heard that voice on like 80-year-old smokers that have come in to buy smokes, you know, and it made me not like them, which I guess is the point. But it was a weird voice to do. It was a weird choice because it sounds forced. I don't know. It didn't vibe with me. I wasn't cool with it.
That's fair. Anyway, the plot is Queen Mab is like, I am the leader. I am the queen of the old magic ways, but England has gone towards Christians. Poo-poo. So I'm going to make a wizard, the most powerful wizard of all, so that they can make everyone believe in me again.
That is an interesting... I did like this sort of angle.
I liked it as well. Yeah, me too.
It was cool. Very funny to me that it's like, man, these stupid ass Britons are believing in God now, and that sucks. And I was like, that's very funny. One, because it like points out how like a local problem this is. It's like this happens all in just Britain, you know. The rest of the world's out there doing whatever the fuck. It doesn't really matter. This is like not Britain's the world actually.
Well, I mean, it's that did happen. The oldest, I guess, religion in that area was like the Celtic paganism.
Oh yeah,
that sort of stuff.
Yeah. It even points it out. It's like it talks about Christianity, and I was a bit like, yeah, but what about the other ones? And then it talks about the other ones, and I was like, oh, okay,
yeah, a little bit here and there.
It essentially shouts them out. It's like, oh yeah, and the pagans over here, they were having a rough time of it as well.
That's right. I mean, paganism is such a broad umbrella, but they are the oldest religions of all of them, and you know, it like I kind of liked that element of it, and I liked the element of, I thought it was kind of dumb at the end, but I liked the element of like, we don't exist as gods if people don't remember us. So her whole thing is
no. I really like that. That's a story point I've used before in D&D and other things.
All right. I like the story point. I think the way they did it at the end didn't work for me.
Oh, that was dumb as hell. I hated that.
But as a plot point, I thought it was great.
Nah, there's a whole thing in like D&D that it inspired me. There's these like fish people. I don't know if you've heard of this, Sandro.
No, definitely not.
Koitoa, I think they're and they're essentially like they're like men with silly fish heads, right?
Oh, okay.
And they're kind of like these dumb little enemies that aren't that hard, you know, like your goblins, like your whatever, right?
Yeah.
But they have this one ability where if they believe hard enough in something, they can manifest it as an actual thing.
That's cool.
So whatever religion they believe in, like, can actually will exist. Because if they believe hard enough in something, it will exist. So there's a lot of things that can happen with this, right? So for one, they believe in like some crazy frog god or something, and the more they believe in it, the more powerful it gets, right?
Yep.
But if an adventurer comes along and says like, hey, I'm super powerful and does all these powerful things, they might start worshipping the adventurer as a god. And the adventurer can just gain godlike powers.
All I'm hearing is that they're minions. They
they're
are
very
minions. Yeah.
They're extremely minions. And like there's a lot of there's a lot of implications from that.
I bet.
And what I got implicated from that was that every god in D&D is only a god because people believe in them.
Well, yes, that's true.
That is my theory, and so that is what I've gone off. Is like the more powerful a god is, it's because more people believe in it.
That's a really good idea. That's a great like fantasy book. It gives me Brandon Sanderson vibes. It's it's a world of gods, but all the gods are just people that people were like, hey, you're cool. Then they became, that's pretty cool. I'm sure that's already been done in so many different things.
Absolutely.
So I think it's a cool idea.
It could be like people that are like the pharaoh, for example, from Egypt, where they like just proclaim they're a god. If enough people believed in that, then they would be a god, which would then prove they are a god, which would then make more people believe in them. But it also leaves the other problem of, if you kind of fall off as a god, people just stop believing in you, which makes you less powerful, which means the other gods can kick your ass, which means people less believe in you, and you can, like, fade out of existence, you know?
Yeah, gotcha.
So it's interesting in that way.
Okay, back to the movie. We got Merlin. He's a teenager. He's being raised by his aunt, his Auntie A, in a small village. He meets Nimue, who is the daughter of one of the lords, and they very quickly, she's like, I need directions to this place, and he's like, I'll give you directions if you kiss me. And I was like, what the fuck? But then it works, and then they fall in love forever, so...
I fucking hate that.
Yeah.
I hate young Merlin. No diss on young Merlin, he's fine. But I hate the scene. I hate this dumb, contrived love story. I hate the plot of this love story. I hate the conclusion of this love story.
It's bad.
I'm not huge. I'm not huge on it. It's not great.
I agree with you. Also, the fact that her name is Nimue immediately threw me off, because Nimue is the name of the Lady of the Lake in most Arthurian legends. The Lady of the Lake's real name is Nimue, and I was like, but then we actually see the Lady of the Lake later.
Yeah, they're playing a bit fast and loose with the naming.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on here? I loved the scene where she gets stuck in quicksand in the forest, and then he uses his magic powers to make a tree branch grow so that she can be saved.
That's his, like, magical awakening. Is that he needs to save his girl he just met 2 seconds ago, so he uses magic to grow a stick bigger.
Is it a metaphor for something?
She's making my stick grow bigger.
No, okay, there it is. There it. I was trying to do a tasteful joke by saying...
I wasn't.
Is it a metaphor? But then you just went full tweak with it over there.
But I I think the story would have worked fine if he didn't have a romantical interest.
You know what? I agree.
Although it does give him some moments where he has to... The idea with this is it's the thing that forces him to actually use his magic.
Yeah.
Because otherwise he, like, swears not to use it.
Yeah, well, yeah, he uses his magic, then Queen Mab shows up and is like, I'll teach you how to use magic. So he goes to her magic training castle, and then is like, I hate this, and then leaves. And yeah, he's like, I don't want to use magic. But then the reason why he eventually starts to use magic is because of Nimue later when he's like an adult. So that's, I guess, the reason. And then also they kind of use her to like depower him in moments, so he's just not there in scenes that happen later. They use her as a plot reason for him not being there.
Yeah, and it also gives him a good, like, reason to actually help the other guy bang this other chick. Like, it gives our reason, you know?
I felt like it gave him less of a reason. I was like, shouldn't he not be doing this because he... I don't know. I thought that it would have been better...
Because the whole point is the king's like, you wouldn't know what it's like to really love someone. And he's like, well, actually...
Right. I see what you're saying.
What I'm saying is it convinces him to use the magic, because the only motivators he really has for using his magic up until that point was to help his lady. Yeah. Right?
That's true.
And so it makes sense that the king, like, emotionally manipulates that with his romance to get him to use magic, right?
I want to quickly mention, there's one joke in the training section. He goes to be trained and stuff, and it's Martin Short doing a bunch of comedy. There's a scene where he dresses up as an Asian person, and does the racist accent and everything, which doesn't make any sense. That's a joke for the audience, because Merlin would have no idea who anyone is outside of England.
Well, maybe he would, with magic, Sandro.
But he hasn't done magic yet.
Well, what if he has accidentally? Like, you know, he sees visions, right, Sandro?
I don't know. Then show us. If you want to make a racist joke. I need context. And not just, that was a racist joke for the audience.
Sandro wants your professional racism.
That's right.
You know? Not your amateur hour racism over here. Come on.
I expect more from you, Martin Short. I expect more. But that was a rough moment. Anyway, he's like, fuck this, I'm leaving. So Mab kills his aunt, and then he's like, I'm not going to use magic ever again.
Well, she doesn't kill them, Sandro. She doesn't kill them. She just doesn't help them live.
Wow,
you know?
that's true.
Which some might consider, and in several lawful states would consider, maybe not murder, but manslaughter, or, you know... But then again, some would consider it you're not supposed to help. Like, you don't need to help if you don't want to, you know?
I don't know. I feel like if you're a god, your whole point is helping, unless you're gonna...
Ooh, no, that's a different argument. You're like, what about don't interfere, you know?
Well, I mean, all she's doing is interfering, so I think those rules are probably out the window.
You got me there. I can't argue with that one. That's literally all she's doing.
Yeah. There's a scene where, like, he's having a funeral for his aunt, and the camera, like, runs across the rubble and stuff, and it reminded me, I don't know if you've been on TikTok in the last year, but Sam Neill has a TikTok, and all his TikTok is he uses his camera and pretends that it's a bee, and, like, flies his camera around all of his... like flowers going buzz, like the phone, and therefore you, the viewer, becomes a bee. It just reminded me of that. If you haven't checked out Sam Neill's TikTok, give it a watch. It's a fun time.
We truly do live in a society. Bottom text.
Yep.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's
check
hype.
It out. Check it out.
I have not seen that, and that sounds amazing.
That's pretty good. Made me laugh.
Yeah.
A few times. He's done like 30 of them now. I'm like, calm down, Sam Neill.
That's hype. What a legend. What an absolute fucking legend.
It's true.
Yeah, so he's used magic, so Faye Ticklebottom, or whatever the fuck his name is, Frick. What the frick comes over, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna take you to your real mum, who's going to teach you magic, and then...
Oh, yeah, we've already done
she does the murder, and then he's like, well, now that you've taught me and there's... I just want to mention it because they have, like, they go through 3 types of magic.
Oh, yeah.
There's, like, hand magic, word magic, and then, like, mind magic. And that doesn't really come back.
No.
At all, other than they mentioned he's a hand mage a few times, and that's about it.
Yep.
Which I thought was... I liked the concept, though, because I think Harry Potter steals that a little bit. I think
yeah.
J.K. Rowling has watched this movie, is what I'm saying.
I feel like Harry Potter, well, at least one of them had come out before this, but I'm sure that concept had been around for a while.
Yeah.
So.
But I'm just saying, like, there's a whole, like, thing of, like, elves are the only ones that can use magic without wands.
That's true, yeah.
But Dumbledore can, like, wave his wand and he doesn't have to say the magic words, you know, so there's a bit of that, you know, something like that.
I don't know, I think J.K. Rowling probably did watch this, and she definitely took the racism part. She definitely took that part and then and ran with it as well. I think she's stealing a few
Not
things
enough
from
for
this.
me.
Anyway, okay, so yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna do magic. He is now, it's like 40 something years later. Now it's Sam Neill. It's not a teenager anymore. Now it's Sam Neill.
And I'm a bit more on board.
And we have Nimwe's dad is one of the lords who's working for Mr. Blade Runner. Rutger Hauer, he's the big bad king, and he's like, Arthur Pendragon's gonna come here, I gotta defeat him, because Arthur Pendragon's got a big army, he's gonna take my land.
Yeah. I liked how Sam Neill has in, like, Excalibur,
Yeah.
they had the dragon's just kind of like a metaphor for the land and the world, but also Merlin was kind of a dragon as well, maybe.
Yeah.
Whereas in this one, the dragon is a metaphor for the 2 warring armies, but also there is a literal dragon.
There is a dragon. But yeah, he has a vision where you see the 2, like, flags fighting.
Yeah, the flags put him up and like...
Because there's red dragon and then white dragon and there. That was cool. I liked that. Yeah, what is it the king's trying to make? He's trying to make a castle, but the castle keeps falling over, and the soothsayers that he's hired are, like, telling him the wrong information and stuff, and he's like, I don't know what's going on. And it's all a ploy by Mab to get the king to meet Merlin. It's this long plan, this big game plan that she's constructed with this curse on the land and castles falling over and stuff so that Merlin can meet the king.
Yeah.
Because the whole movie is just her manipulating everything.
Yeah. And it's interesting because, yeah, the what's his face? Rutger is like an asshole to him and is like locking him up and being like, hey, I see you're a wizard with magical powers. Fuck you, rot in my cell. Whereas the other king is like, I don't know, you're helping me with visions. Fucking let's go, dude. Let's fucking show down.
That's exactly it. And what gets Merlin to change, well, he's not really on the king's side, but he does change sides, is Mab convinces the king that the only way to defeat Uther is making Merlin angry or something, and the only way to do that is to kill Nimue, because they're smooching and stuff in the background. And her dad's apparently fine with it. We get a scene where he turns the moon into a coin. That looked really cool.
Yeah, that was a fun scene. That was the scene from where Jim Carrey turns into God in that one movie, right?
Oh, yeah, for real.
And he makes the moon bigger. That's what it reminded me of. Although I liked him turning it into a coin, because doing little tricks with coins is kind of his MO for a little bit of this movie, which I thought was a fun character thing for him, because he does that as a coin trick. He does the ear coin trick for Morgana, and then later on he's begging for money at the end of the movie, and I was like, there's a kind of a coin thing with
That's
him.
true. Yeah, that is really true. Anyway, yeah, he's like, I'll sacrifice Nimue to a dragon so that I can win, and so Merlin can do the stuff and I can win, and then we see the dragon. It looks pretty good. It's got predator night vision. It looks like a frill neck lizard. He uses nature to like tie the dragon down and stuff, but it still burns her. I thought that was good.
Yeah, that was a fun battle.
I think a lot of the battles in this, we skipped over one, but there's a really brutal fight early in the movie where we see the bad kings kind of like rise to power, and that was the action in this, particularly the first half, is really, really good.
I liked that sort of montage. It's essentially a montage of like this. It's showing like the reign of kings was just like one tyrant into the next bigger, eviler tyrant.
Yeah.
It was just who was the bigger tyrant. And so it's like one king dies and his crown rolls along the ground. And then the next one's sitting there and he just kind of grabs it and puts it on. And it's like, he's the next king. But then he's fucking dead.
Yeah.
I liked Merlin's vision where he's also like, he's spotting the foundations are built on a river or something.
Oh, the castle they're trying to build. Yeah. That was cool.
That's some good stuff.
And I guess in this one, Merlin's plan is he wants to make the best king. He wants to put the best king on the crown so that everyone believes in the king and not in Mab. So it's like his plan to defeat her is to make everyone forget her by making there be a really good king, which is, is a fair plan of his.
Yeah, because he hates her because she didn't save his foster mum. So he's like, fuck you. I'm gonna fuck up all your plans.
So anyway, okay, so now Nimue, she got burned by a dragon, and now she's so ugly. She's so she's ugly. She's got tiny scars on her face. She's so ugly.
I'm like, what? What?
It's a classic movie thing where she's like, don't look at me, I'm hideous. And it's like a couple scars.
Bro, I didn't even fucking notice at first that she was scarred. And then I realized it's like, oh, her cheek's scarred. Oh, right. But she's like, I'm too hideous. I don't want to leave. And I'm like, lady, there are so much more ugly people. Like, if you were around that time.
Yes.
Where there's, like, no doctors and everything. People have got, like, pustules and boils and, like, disease, like, was rampant and other things. I'm like, she would have been, like, top 10 most beautiful ladies in the land with the scars.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely. 100%.
And she's like, no, I'm too hideous. I hate everything. And Merlin's like, oh, well, I don't fucking mind. And she's like, no, I'm going to make a bargain with the bad guy so I can be beautiful.
That does happen. That does happen. And it was, at that point, I was like, can we just kill this character? Because she's not doing anything and it's annoying.
Don't you worry, because her whole plot is like, you're going to bait Merlin away from me. So he'll go live in a cabin in the middle of the forest so he won't interfere with me. But I'll let him leave that cabin if he wants, but then he can't return back to the cabin again afterwards. Which made no fucking sense if you want Merlin out of the way, right? Because then his only motivation is to fuck with you, right?
Well, true. I don't know. I think my thing is, I think that Queen Mab might not be the smartest tool in the toolbox.
Not at all.
That's probably why she is overcompensating with outfit and the voice because she's got to be memorable somehow. So she's like,
That's true. Maybe she is just putting on the voice so people remember her more. That would be like a valid reason.
But no one will forget me if I sound like this.
Unfortunately,
that's her whole thing. No. Okay, so Merlin's pissed. He gets Excalibur from the Lady in the Lake, and I was like,
yeah,
it's kind of the most normal-looking Excalibur sword I think I've ever seen in a movie. Not in a bad way.
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
Hey, I'm Paige DeSorbo, and I'm always thinking about underwear.
I'm Hannah Burner, and I'm also thinking about underwear, but I prefer full coverage. I like to call them my granny panties.
Actually, I never think about underwear. That's the magic of Tommy John.
Same. They're so light and so comfy, and if it's not comfortable, I'm not wearing it.
And the bras, soft, supportive, and actually breathable.
Yes, Lord knows the girls need to breathe. Also, I need my PJs to breathe and be buttery soft and stretchy enough for my dramatic tossing and turning at night. That's why I live in my Tommy John pajamas.
Plus, they're so cute because they fit perfectly.
Put yourself on to Tommy John.
Upgrade your drawer with Tommy John. Save 25% for a limited time at TommyJohn.com/comfort. See site for details.
Did you know Tide has been upgraded to provide an even better clean in cold water? Tide is specifically designed to fight any stain you throw at it, even in cold. Butter? Yep. Chocolate ice cream? Sure thing. Barbecue sauce? Tide's got you covered. You don't need to use warm water. Additionally, Tide Pods let you confidently fight tough stains with new Coldzyme technology. Just remember, if it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide.
It wasn't super fancy. Anyway, he goes to see Uther and he's like, I'll help you. And so he fights with Uther and then they kill the bad king.
Yeah. They kill the evil king and then he's like, I want to bang a lady.
Yeah, immediately, as we saw in Excalibur, because they're, it's in both movies, he's like, but Cornwall's wife, am I right? And Merlin's like, for fuck's sake.
I did like this one. Fucking stupid ass king is like, boy, I want to bang that wife. But I'm like, come on, man. Really?
This is my biggest problem with Merlin, the movie that we're reviewing, is he doesn't think that on his own. He thinks that because Mab is whispering in his ear. And, kind of, manipulates him to doing it. And it's the same with the Lancelot-Guinevere storyline. Everything wrong that happens is because of Mab. And I think that kind of ruins the story a little bit.
I disagree. I think she's enhancing those feelings that were already there,
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean? I think she's just... She is like the snake tempting Eve, right? Eve's already like, that apple looks pretty good, but I'm not going to do it because the thing said so. And then the snake is gone, yeah, but why not, though? It's just convincing you to do the wrong thing you already want to do, right?
I mean, that could be one way to look at it, for sure.
Like, if you didn't want to bone down with Lancelot, right?
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't have been tempted by the magic,
I mean, yeah, I guess it depends how powerful she is, but yeah.
That's true. Well, I would argue her power's fading or some bullshit because of the people forgetting her. So
yeah, that's true.
That's how I interpret it anyway. But yeah, your interpretation does make the story a little worse.
I think even your interpretation takes away just a lot from it. I don't know. I prefer that all of the things that go wrong in the King Arthur story is because everyone, people just kind of suck.
Yeah. Well, that's how I still interpreted this.
Yeah.
It was just Mab pushing them to do the shitty things that they wanted to do,
Yeah.
Which made sense to me. And I liked that he was like, man, Merlin was like, man, I suck at judging people.
I like that as well.
I liked him admitting that he just sucked at that.
Yeah. Oh, I did want to say the fight where Uther kills Rutger Hauer is incredible, though. Like, the way he kills him in the snow, under the water, all that shit. I was like, this is fucking great. Such good stuff. Anyway, yeah, so he does the same thing that he did in Excalibur. He, changes Uther's appearance to look like Cornwall and is like, you have until night and it'll be your secret. Don't do anything to Cornwall. Don't kill him. Oh, you killed him? Fuck, that sucks. But Merlin's like, all right, Uther isn't the king I'm looking for, so I'm going to play the long game and I'm going to do the, I get the kid that's born and that will be the one true king. I'll put the sword in the stone. He'll be Jesus King Man and all that stuff.
Why is that kid gonna be good, right? Like, that's my question, is why is Merlin so sure that kid, made out of a really shitty, like, what essentially is just rape, right?
Pretty much.
I'd hate to use that word, but that's what it is.
That's
right?
what's happening. Yep.
Why is that kid gonna be the Jesus kid,
I think because in this one, because Merlin's like, I'll raise him myself.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah.
Or I'll put him with people who I know will raise him well or whatever. But the thing is, Merlin's just doing what happened to him. That's the thing that's happening here, and they mention it, but nothing bad really comes of it. You know what I mean?
That's just the cycle of life,
that's true, yeah.
That's just the cycle of abuse, really, isn't it?
That's what his talking horse says. That's right. His talking horse is like, I swear I've seen this, but he's got a talking horse, by the way. I don't think we mentioned that Merlin's got a talking horse.
Thank God that only comes up a couple of times.
Yeah.
Dumb little thing.
Yeah. Also, there's this whole plot point when we see Arthur being born, and Mab puts a black crystal in his crib to, like, corrupt Arthur, but that never comes back ever.
Well, I think it just makes him grow faster.
Oh.
Because Merlin makes that point. He's like, wow, your son's growing, like, way faster than he should be, or something like that.
Okay.
And I think it helps him with his, like, shooting and stuff. It, like, helps him, like, magically improve.
Right.
Because he could shoot arrows really good in one scene. I really liked that scene as well, where he, like, shoots at a bunch of people.
Wasn't that Mordred? That wasn't Arthur.
Oh, I'm thinking of Mordred.
Yeah.
Who are you talking about? Who?
Arthur. They put the crystal in Arthur's crib, and then nothing comes of it. That's like a whole 3-minute sequence.
Yeah. I didn't remember that. I thought that was Mordred that she put the crystal in with.
No, Mordred's not. Well, maybe it was to make Mordred. Maybe the crystal's there to put Mordred inside of baby Arthur so that he can make baby Arthur with his half-sister later. He can make Mordred... Fuck, it's complicated. Many generations in this movie.
What the fuck is going on? Yeah.
Anyway, that's the first half of Merlin.
Yeah. And so, King Arthur's born and raised to be good boy, and then they come back to Excalibur that's just been waiting with the stone giant who makes a point. It's like, it feels like it's only been yesterday because it was like 5 minutes ago movie time.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny.
The sword in the stone, for that story, the stone is actually James L. Jones as a giant rock man, creature thing that's been here forever.
Rock man, creature thing.
And so the sword in the stone is kind of the same as it usually is, except the stone's alive.
Yeah. He's like a sleeping giant, and they give him the sword, and instead of like it like stabbed in the rock, he's like holding it, which is why no one can get it. And Merlin's like, wait, give it to a worthy man, right?
Yeah.
It has to be given to a just man.
Yeah.
And the mountain's like, so I'm gonna be here for the next 1 billion years, right? And I was like, haha, because all men are shit.
That's right. Pretty funny. Pretty funny.
Yeah. But then they come along, 20 years later, and Merlin's like, hey, can I have the sword back now?
Which I
guess.
I don't like that part. I think I mentioned it in our Excalibur episode. I like it when the sword and the stone story is destiny, not Merlin telling the stone that you can, or like him like rigging it to be Arthur.
Yeah. The sword should be more like Thor's hammer, you know?
Yeah,
It should be
exactly.
for those who are worthy of it.
It should be someone actually worthy, not Merlin saying it should go to Arthur. Is my preferred version of that story.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's got the sword and he's king now. Morgana's like, I'm ugly. And so Martin Short's like, you're beautiful. So Martin Short used to come to Morgana not in her dreams, but when she was a kid, he would show up and do magic for her. And so she's got a crush on Martin Short. And so what happens...
This is a reverse Anakin Padme situation. I don't like that. But she grows up pretty quick, I guess. So it's like, how old is Frick? How old is Frick in this relation? How old is Frick?
I mean, isn't he an immortal? Well, what is he? Is he a human who looks like that, or is he actually an elf or a goblin?
He's gotta be something. He says he's a gnome, doesn't he?
Oh, he does say he's a gnome. Okay, so he's a gnome. So maybe that's fine then, because his species would just age really slowly. No,
What
it's not
the
fine.
fuck,
It's not
Sandro?
fine
What
because she
the
met
fuck?
him when she
That's
was a
some
child.
anime-ass defense you used right there. Actually, he's like a billion years old, but for
God.
that species,
You're right.
he's like 12 years old. Really.
You're right. That was very
What? The frig.
That was
Sandro.
very Kojima of me then. That's disgusting. And I apologize to everyone. She breathes through her skin, all right?
Whoa. But more importantly, I don't support gnome-human couples.
Wow.
You know,
I thought they were cute without all the weird stuff around it.
They were, actually. I thought they had great chemistry.
They did.
Honestly, for some weird reason, they had the best relationship in this fucking film,
Yeah.
right?
It's true.
Like the king and the queen, like the queen cheats with fucking Lancelot and all that bullshit, right?
Which, again, no, we'll get to it later.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, I was just going to say, the queen and Lancelot have zero chemistry.
No, which again makes me feel like they're being forced by Mab. She's just gone into their brain. And,
Yeah.
Because in Excalibur, the queen doesn't even like Arthur. They're just married politically.
I think it's the same in this one.
They are, well, I don't know. I don't know anymore.
But it doesn't put much emphasis on that, so I can see why you're looking at through that lens. I'm just using the context of last week's movie to add more context to this movie, which makes it more enjoyable. But yeah, Merlin and that chick don't have any chemistry because they're just like, we love each other,
Yep.
and that's it.
Yep.
I'm like, but why?
Because he told her directions and then made her kiss him as payment.
What? Why are all the other ones so rapey? Why is the, like, weird age difference romance the only good one?
It reminded me of Amy Pond's storyline in Doctor Who, where she's met Matt Smith as a kid, and then when she's grown up and he comes back, she's like, I'm engaged, but let's make out. It reminded me of that. And I was like, I didn't like it in 2010. I don't like it now. I don't like it in Merlin or in Doctor Who. Get rid of that storyline.
Well, she's
Bit
like
yucky.
a PG escort in Doctor Who.
That's true.
Right?
It's true, she
It's
is. She's
weird.
It's very odd. Anyway, Martin Short makes her look like Bellatrix Lestrange or whatever. He turns her into how she actually looks and not Quasimodo Morgana over here.
Yeah, it's the whole thing of like, we'll make you beautiful, but it's in the eyes of the society. Because at the end, they become ugly again, and they're like, we're actually beautiful when we're ugly.
Yes, that was a
And it's
nice
like-
moment.
Yeah, but it's like, it's such an overhashed
Yeah.
story arc, I feel. The Quasimodo.
And I think that's the problem with this movie is who is this for? It's too violent for kids, yet it's got storylines like that are good for kid stuff. Is this for early teens, maybe? That could make sense.
I think it's early teens, but also, to be fair, this movie came out 20 plus years ago. So.
Yeah, that's true. Almost 30 at this point, yeah.
Yeah, right? Like, so it's not... Well, you can forgive it a bit of slack for having rehash sort of story.
That's true. And the reason they've done that to Morgan Le Fay, not Morgana, I should say, is so that she can make an incest baby with Arthur. That's the whole reason. That's part of the big thing. And that happens. We cut to Merlin, and he's like, something, I feel a disturbance in the force. He rushes home, and he's like, Arthur, you made an incest baby. And Arthur's like, I didn't know. And he starts, like, freaking out, and everyone's freaking out.
Yeah. She pulls the, like, yeah. Fucking, god damn it. What? Just don't fuck your sister.
Well, I mean, that's a key part of the story, I guess. It's a key part. I'm glad they didn't do that in the Merlin TV show. I'm gonna be honest. I'm glad that never happened in...
Honestly, I'm disappointed, actually.
Disappointed?
I'm reversing course on that one. The fact that it didn't happen in that one, you know. Did they have at least them try to seduce or something?
Morgana's out of that show by, like, season 3. So,
well.
From memory. I never finished it, so she could come back later.
No comment.
Anyway.
So yeah. She has the baby, and it's baby Morden, whatever his name is.
Mordred, and it's a real mean. It's the Antichrist baby. It's throwing daggers at Merlin.
That's what I wanted to say. Was Merlin comes up and is like, man, that's one cursed-ass fucking baby. And then it throws a knife at him.
Yeah.
And he, like, barely catches it in time. I'm like, that's pretty funny that it's just an evil-ass baby. But she's pretty cute as a mum, you know?
Yeah, I liked all the scenes where we have, like, Mab, Morgana, and Frick all raising the baby were honestly very funny. I enjoyed them a lot. They were really
some of the best points of the movie. And then, yeah, he's, like, shooting arrows at targets, but he's, like, a super good archer, but he also, like, misses a couple of times as well.
Yeah.
And he, like, hits some servants, which is pretty funny. And then he, like, and what's-her-face, Mordred, gets mad because, Mab goes like, there's room for improvement. So he, like, shoots an arrow at her and nearly, like, hits her.
Yeah.
And he's like, she's like, tisk, 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 naughty boy.
That was fun. This is all happening while Arthur is off looking for the Holy Grail. So that all happens off screen. When he's off to the Holy Grail, they got to find someone to take care of the city in his absence. And so Merlin's like, hey, Lady of the Lake, who should take care of Camelot? And the Lady of the Lake is like, go to this location and the person who will do it will be there. And I liked this storyline because he heads there. He's immediately meets Galahad, who's like, my dad Lancelot's up this way. And so Merlin's like, well, obviously it's Lancelot. But no, everything goes to shit because what the Lady of the Lake said was, someone you'll meet there will be perfect. She didn't say Lancelot will be perfect, because Lancelot fucks everything up. It would actually have been Galahad. If they put that kid on the throne, everything would have been fine.
Yeah. It's funny, because does Galahad even come into this movie at any point,
Nope.
really?
Nope. He's in one scene.
Yeah, that's very funny. He just fucks up and gets like... And in this movie, Lancelot's just not good. Not a great guy.
Well, I liked he has a lance tournament. He's shown to be pretty good in that, but aside from that, no, he's not very good.
No. But like in the other movie we watched, in Excalibur, he's like the best knight. And he's very noble as well. He's like, I've traveled the land. I've abandoned all of my wealth just to find a worthy king for me to serve. You know, he's like a super knight. In this one, he's just some dude who's good at jousting. But he also like, I'm gonna fuck this queen, you know? And that's all he does.
He does that. Mab shows that happening to his wife, and so she dies, and then they go to burn Gwen. So this part was really confusing. Oh, I do want to mention I liked their meet cute, which is he's in the hospital and these doctors are trying to figure out how to remove a lance from him. And they're like, we don't know which way to do it. Should we take it out this way or that way? We are stuck. It's a problem. We don't know what to do.
What a weird problem is like, which way do we twist out the lance?
Yeah, so weird. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a thing for that. There's probably a case where that's happened, but they're not sure. They have to like get it out, but they don't know which way to turn it so it wouldn't be as bad.
Yes.
But like, surely you can yank that out and patch it up. He'd be right. So she unstabs him, right? She pulls out the lance. Is that reverse sexy? I'm not sure.
I'm confused.
Well, if someone stabs their lover, you know, that's usually, like, if someone penetrates their lover, that's usually sexy, right?
Well, I mean...
But she's unpenetrating him.
It really depends on the context.
Is no, that's what I'm saying, right? So it's like a man penetrating a woman is sexy, but this is a woman unpenetrating a man. So is that reverse sexy? This is my question, Sandra.
I mean, it was not very sexy, yes, because it's...
That's what I'm saying. So this is reverse sexy. That's all I'm saying.
Wow. Yeah, look, you've got me there. I've got nothing to say to that. Absolutely
My
nothing.
logic is perfect here, Sandra.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. And that sums up their relationship, because I don't think it had any chemistry.
No, none
it was
at all.
Unsexy.
Also, the rest of her storyline doesn't make any sense to me, because Arthur returns and everyone's like, Gwen cheated on you. You've got to... try her for treason, and he's like, no, and then Mordred comes in and is like, I'm your incest son, and you're not gonna put your wife on trial. One rule for you, other rule for us. It's crazy. So he's trying to start a revolution.
Yeah, he's so sassy. He's like, what are you gonna do about it, bitch?
I think I agree with you in that I preferred him in this because he's trying to, like, get Arthur's men on his side by being like, oh, you royalty will suck.
He's like doing manipulation. He's being manipulative, but he's also, like, openly kind of an asshole, but he, like, owns it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, whatever, I don't care. I am an asshole, but, like, are you gonna follow this guy? I'm young, I'm hip, I'm cool, I can shoot some servants. That's all I'm saying. And I'm like, I like how open he is. He's not hiding the fact, you know?
I agree.
If I was one of King Arthur's fucking crew, I'd be like, I might be going with this guy.
That's fair. Well, like, and it makes sense as well with what happens, which, first of all, they're going to try her for treason, but they tie her to a stake and burn it. That's not really trying someone for... I'm not sure what they're doing there.
That's like your witch burning.
But
though,
she's not
right?
a witch.
If she's innocent, she won't get burnt to death. If she was guilty, she will burn to death.
But that only makes sense if you're a witch, not if you're just being tried for adultery.
Yeah, but she's also a woman in the medieval time.
Well, actually, you're right.
I feel
there.
like they were pretty itchy on the trigger finger of just like, we don't like you, we're gonna burn you. Especially for adultery. I think they actually did that in real life. Is like,
maybe. I don't know.
If like a man and a woman were adulterous, the woman would get like killed and the man
That's true.
would get like jailed.
I don't know if they would get burned alive though, but who knows?
No, but I think they did get executed for things like that.
Maybe our comments section can clear that up for us.
Maybe
What
they
do
don't
do?
need to.
Oh, I want them to. Please do it. Someone requested a Tarzan movie in our comments last week. Might have to add it to the list. A new Tarzan movie. The people want it.
There's a lot of them that we skipped over in the previous years, so they're around.
Anyway, comment movie suggestions, I guess, as well.
Just wait, viewer slash listener, till we get the live action Tarzan. We'll review that.
What? Which one?
I don't know. One of them. Disney's gonna make one.
Oh,
sure enough.
Yeah, no, that's probably true.
See what I'm saying? I'm just saying it's in the catalog.
Can't wait for that.
They need more money. Once their money bank starts to get below $1 trillion, they're like, oh, we gotta make this up. We might be poor next month.
Go make another one. Let's make Lilo and Stitch bad. Anyway, so Arthur's like, Merlin, save my wife, and so he does. But in doing so, everyone's like, Arthur, you saved your wife by asking Merlin to do it, so we're all gonna leave you and go to Mordred. Also, Lancelot just rides in and saves her as well, so we don't ever see them again.
Yeah. And then they leave, and that's it.
Yeah, we don't see them. Also, Morgana's dead.
Yeah,
they have
a whole
her.
scene where Mordred and Mab are like, you know what, we're leaving now, bye. And she's like, well, whoa, that's my son. You're just gonna leave? And she's like, yep. And also, you're a bitch. Get fucked.
You're dead. Get out of here.
And then Frick is like, no, my wife, no. Fuck you, Mab. And Mab's like, fuck you, no magic, lol.
Yeah, she takes away his magic and now he's just a normal gnome. So
guy
sad.
With pointy ears who looks weird.
And she's like, well, you want to go against me, then try going against the world looking like that. And he does. He manages pretty well. He becomes a war hero, so how about that?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, and I mean, that kind of makes sense, because if he's been around for like thousands of years, he's probably pretty good at combat, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's funny that, yeah, he just teams up with the good guys and then goes help them win some wars. I mean, makes sense.
Arthur and Mordred fight. It goes on for a while. They both die. Merlin's like, we get the whole storyline where Nimwe's like, come to this magic grotto and stay with me, Merlin, and you can't leave. And so he's like, well, I'm gonna leave because Arthur's dead. So...
Yeah, and I fucking hated it. I hated the gold film over this whole scene.
I didn't mind that part, honestly, but that's fair.
But yeah, she makes a deal with Mab. It's like, she'll bring the beauty back, but you gotta tempt Merlin away. But then the whole catch is that Merlin can't leave, otherwise it will seal off. But she doesn't tell him that.
No.
And so he leaves, and that seals them off. And I guess that's her saving him. Because if she had told him...
Yeah, he would have saved. He would have stayed.
Then he would have stayed. And I think that's why she didn't tell him, was that he had the choice to leave. But it's like, the movie doesn't, like, go into that. The movie doesn't explain that well. So it just seemed like Mab had a really bad plan.
Oh, yes.
Because it stops Merlin from going back in. And so Merlin's like, well, I guess I have no choice but to stop Mab.
Yeah.
Right? If he had been allowed back in, he probably, he might not have wanted to leave,
Exactly. I think this part was a waste of time and kind of ruined the whole ending of this movie, honestly. I thought it was really...
Well, I thought this bit was, like, fine. The ending of the film, I got mad at.
Well, yeah, so he's like, oh my god, everyone's dead. He takes Excalibur, he gives it to the Lady of the Lake, and is like, all right.
It's like, have your fucking sword back. It did shit all for me. Thanks, Lady of the Lake. I like the Lady of the Lake's helping was to give Excalibur, which just helped with people violently killing each other. And then her advice was, go get this guy. He's pure of heart. Oh, you got the wrong guy? Whoops, my bad.
Yeah.
Like, she does nothing. She actively hinders Merlin,
She does.
I'm pretty sure, right?
I love, though, because it is the same actor as Mab. I loved how she's got a fish necklace. I thought that looked really cool. I just want to bring that up.
it's a good necklace. Still didn't really help with anything.
No, she sucks in this. Anyway, so then he's like, all right, I'm going to go kill Mab. So he goes to Camelot. They have a magic battle that looked pretty cool. But turns out they're both as powerful as each other. And so Merlin's like, there's a bunch of people in the castle. What if we all just turned our backs and walked away? And she's like, no, you have my weakness. And then she dies.
Yeah.
Which was a lame way of doing that.
That was really dumb, because it's like, you're forgetting someone, but, like, they're actively there, like, talking at, like... Sandra, can you forget someone at will?
No.
By just kind of ignoring... So, yeah, like, it doesn't make any sense.
If you're walking away trying to forget someone, you're thinking of them so they're not being forgotten. So...
Right?
What would have been better is he casts a magical spell over everyone to make them forget her, and then he kills himself, so no one now remembers who she is.
Jesus Christ. Okay, like, you don't need that.
Or he goes into the magical realm where his wife is, and then he's not in the world anymore, so she dies.
I think if one person believes in you, that's probably still not enough to exist. So I think it's fine if Merlin...
like, remember. That could,
But
sure.
if he casts a spell, it's like, the spell works, but only if you agree to it or something like that. And so everyone agrees to this spell of forgetting, and, like, they erase her from all the history books. Like,
yeah.
So what happens is they have all these books out, and she's like, what's happening? And they're like, they do a book burning or something, and it's part of this spell where they just fucking forget her.
Yeah.
And then they toss a Bible at her. Get fucked.
And then she disappears.
And she fucking explodes.
There's so many better ways that they could have done this.
I get the idea. The idea is they just, like, aggressively forget her, right? Which kind of makes sense. But, the way it's handled in this film is not quite.
And Galahad has the Holy Grail randomly, and so now he's king or whatever. Anyway, that's the end of the movie.
It's just a side mention of that, yeah.
Also, at the start, and, like, during random points of the movie, we see old man Merlin, and he's telling the story, and then we cut to him, he's on the street, telling the story to a bunch of kids, and Martin Short's there, and he comes up and he's like, great story, Merlin. That's not really the way I remember it, though. And Merlin's like, yes, I don't think they were ready for the way it actually happened. And I'm like, well, then we just watched a version of the movie that didn't happen? That's not what happened? What was the point, then? I wanted the real one, please.
I was going to say, so all my plot holes don't matter because the story wasn't real.
It's just Merlin making it up on the spot or something.
I think he's changed the story over the years, you know?
Yes, maybe.
He also plays it to the crowd, I'm sure, especially if there's lots of kids in the audience.
Yeah. Yeah, he turns it down a
sure
bit. Maybe the real version is Excalibur then. Maybe that's what he's hinting at. Or the real version is the TV show Merlin.
Of course.
And then we fought a crazy changeling who just wanted our gold for about 2 months.
Exactly. That's why they weren't ready, right? 10 years later, just saying, 10 years later, came out.
You know what?
Makes sense.
I think we might be onto something there. And then Frick is like, oh, your wife is alive. When Mab died, the spell that held her in a separate bubble universe or whatever dissolved. So you can go find her.
Okay. I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, that has at least a story moment as to why he's allowed to go back, which I'm like, oh, that's a nice happy ending, sure. Oh, the horse is alive? Sure. What? It's a talking horse? Sure.
And they go to see Nimue, and she's there, and they're old, and it's like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Look at them.
What a nice ending, you know? They're old, but they can finally be together for a bit.
And Sam Neill's like, I've got a little bit of magic left, and he makes them look young again.
What?
And then the movie ends.
What fucking bullshit is this? Why couldn't they have just been old together and lived old or some shit? Or like, what? He just reverses their age. Could he do that the whole fucking time? Why the fuck? I guess he was kind of like suicidal.
I don't think he had a point. Yeah, he didn't want to do it, but now he does.
He didn't want to live. So, but then he did want to live, so he's like, actually, I just made myself young again.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
What? It was dumb ending. I didn't like it.
No.
It rubbed me the wrong way. Fuck you. The ending doesn't need to be that happy. It would have been fine if they were just kind of old, but they were like, we've got some time left. We can live together, you know.
Exactly.
But instead it's like, and look, he magics them young so they can have the happiest ending possible. Don't worry about Britain. They found the Holy Grail or whatever. They're fine. And it's like, what? What? What?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. It's a little bit confusing. I honestly think the first half of this is great, and then the second half has a lot of plot holes and just bad writing. But, you know, it's fine. But Zach, the thing is, he specifically says that's the last of magic. Not my magic. Magic full stop. No one else can do magic anymore. So then explain to me why 8 years later they made a sequel to this where Merlin trains a new apprentice in how to do magic.
Because Merlin, once again, is just wrong.
Oh.
Because he is constantly in this fucking film.
Right, that makes sense. Yes, we've reached the end of our review, and now I will reveal, I don't know if you knew it, Zach, but Merlin's Apprentice is a 3-hour sequel that they made.
I can't wait to do it next week
Nope.
as the option you put for...
Nope, it's not an option. Maybe at some point. I just don't want to watch another 3-hour-long TV movie.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I think that's very fair.
But that one is, it's got Sam Neill returning, and then also the Lady of the Lake's back in it as well. But aside from that, it's a whole new cast. I don't care. But, you know, that's the end of Merlin. Zach, what would you cut? If you wanted to make this a 2-hour movie, which I think there's a good 2-hour movie in this, how would you fix it? What would you do?
I think we're both in agreement that Mab could probably be cut.
Well,
which is crazy because she's also like the main villain of the whole plot.
I think you'd have to rewrite the whole thing to do that. But yes,
I don't know. You just do Excalibur, right?
Oh yeah. Wait,
you know what I mean?
We just do the King Arthur parts of the story, remove Mab, and it's just Sam Neill as Merlin.
Yes. No. But we do Excalibur from Merlin's perspective, right?
Yeah.
We have him growing up as Jesus' baby, right?
Arthur or Merlin?
Instead, Merlin.
Right.
Merlin.
Yeah.
Sorry, different Jesus baby.
Yeah, there's two in this, so you've got to...
No. I would say he's not Jesus baby because the whole point is Virgin Mary, right?
Yes.
And there was a lot of fucking going on there. I would say he's anti-Christ baby. Actually, no, that's more... Fuck! There's so many fucking babies.
There's a lot of babies in this movie.
Look, he's just not a good baby. King Arthur, kind of a shit baby. Anyway, we do Merlin, his birth, and raising from... It could still be like a druid lady, right?
Yeah.
So this one lady gives birth to a baby. There's no man.
Yeah.
And the druid lady doesn't believe that she's like, oh yeah, there's no man involved. He didn't just leave you. But then she dies and she's like, all right, I guess I'm taking care of this fucking baby. And then she's like, oh, wait a minute. This baby is actually magical. Because I know magic.
Yeah, because the baby like poops its pants and then the poop disappears. And it's like, whoa, magic baby.
What the fuck?
That's my addition.
That's the best magic you can think of.
Or the baby's like, I ate that apple. I want another one. Magic apple.
That's what I was going to suggest, was like, he's like, give me more apples, and she's like, no, you can have more tomorrow, and he's like, wah, I want them now, zap, and the fucking apple, like, flies at him, and he catches it, and he's eating the apple, and she's like, how the fuck did you get that apple? That apple was up there.
I still prefer my nappy idea. I think it's better.
No,
it works better.
your Harry Potter magic shit away, like fucking J.R.R. Tolkien's like, oh, they didn't have toilets, they just magic their poop away thing. That's the one you want to go with, Sandra?
That's what I want in this in my movie.
All right, so after he magics his poop away, and the lady's like, all right,
he's got magic,
baby.
She raises him to be Merlin.
Then she gives him magical training, but he kind of goes off. Then maybe he goes on like magical forest walk, you know?
Comes back an old man.
Yeah, or just like, and that's how he learns. He learns a bit of magic from the Fae as well.
I like that. Yeah.
And maybe his, instead of love interest, random woman, love interest is maybe like a Fae lady, right?
Yeah.
A magical lady, right?
Yep.
And then that would make more sense in his like whole magical thing. I don't know, and gives him a bit of separation from all the other characters. And then then the rest of the story can play out the same. And instead of the whole like his girlfriend is getting burned by a dragon, maybe the whole thing is like she's a Fae creature and she's not meant to leave the Fae forest.
Yeah.
And so he's got to make a choice of like, do I go into the Fae forest and never leave?
Yeah.
Or do I help this kingdom? And then he decides to help the kingdom. And then in the end, he can be let back into the Fae Wilds because of some bullshit. You know.
That sounds great. And the movie can be called King Arthur Origins Merlin. Yes.
Perfect.
The tagline, you'll believe a baby can poop and magic it away.
Featuring Apocalypse from X-Men. We're going to shoehorn him in as the bad guy.
Hell yeah. Oscar Isaac in blue makeup versus Sam Neill as Baby Merlin. He stays baby the whole time. Oh, a movie. Magic Merlin baby. Now that's a show.
Oh, Baby Merlin.
Let's cut to reviews because this is getting out of control. Too many ideas.
Hey, I'm Paige DeSorbo, and I'm always thinking about underwear.
I'm Hannah Burner, and I'm also thinking about underwear, but I prefer full coverage. I like to call them my granny panties.
Actually, I never think about underwear. That's the magic of Tommy John.
Same. They're so light and so comfy, and if it's not comfortable, I'm not wearing it.
And the bras, soft, supportive, and actually breathable.
Yes, Lord knows the girls need to breathe. Also, I need my PJs to breathe and be buttery soft and stretchy enough for my dramatic tossing and turning at night. That's why I live in my Tommy John pajamas.
Plus, they're so cute because they fit perfectly.
Put yourself on to Tommy John.
Upgrade your drawer with Tommy John. Save 25% for a limited time at TommyJohn.com/comfort. See site for details.
Sandra, it's time for Raving Letterbox.
Ooh.
Part of the show where I go to Letterbox and Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, you headed there as well.
Of course, that's my new thing now. That's what I'm doing. This is the sequel to Raving Reviews. I had a name for it the other week, and I've forgotten it because we went to PAX.
It's been a while.
I'll remember it eventually. But for now, we are going to grab a couple of reviews from Letterboxd.
Ooh.
Couple of reviews from Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh.
And a sneaky review from yours truly.
Now, Zach, I can't find this movie on Rotten Tomatoes.
Because you're wrong.
Oh.
Because I think it's called something weird. It's called, like, Merlin the Magic Begins or something.
Oh.
Yeah. It's called something weird. But it has 82% on Rotten Tomatoes and 73% audience score.
Oh, that's a different Merlin movie. Yeah, the cast is different, I think.
Oh!
Huh. Well, we'll just do the reviews for that. Who cares?
Oh, I think I fucked up because it came out the same year.
Oh, it did. Yeah. Merlin, the TV show version from 98 isn't on here, but this one is, and it
has a lot of reviews.
They're linked on Google. If you Google Merlin 1998, you get the poster for the Sam Neill one, but the Rotten Tomatoes score of this other random one. So
there you go. So slight confusion there. So, Sandro, as it turns out, you're going to have to find the Letterboxd reviews for this movie and the Rotten Tomatoes reviews for the other movie.
Some other random movie we've never watched or never will watch.
Well, that might clue you in as to which ones are which.
I love that. Why did they come out the same year? That's crazy.
That is weird. Why just one link to the other? That didn't help me. That made me fuck it all up completely. And I didn't realize that till now. Thanks for pointing that out.
Oh, because the one that you got reviews for is called Merlin the Magic Begins, but it's also called Merlin the Quest Begins as well. It's got multiple names.
Jesus Christ.
It's also a TV movie. This is amazing. Let's go.
Yep, I don't care anymore. Obviously, so I've grabbed all the reviews, but I had to change the usernames.
Yep.
So you didn't know which one's which. I'm sure that will become apparent shortly. All right. First review. Are you ready, Sandro? You have to guess the score, and then at the end, you have to guess which ones are whose.
Or we can just go one by one. We'll see.
You can go one by one. Depends how you're feeling.
Yeah.
All right. Lancelot says, Bellatrix the Strange, surprisingly good mother.
Oh, that's very obviously for the 1998 miniseries, and it's a 4 out of 5.
It is indeed a 4 out of 5. Well done.
So that's for Letterboxd and 4 out of 5. But you'll say if
Yes.
it's Letterboxd at the end. That's just my
I'll say
prediction.
if it's Letterboxd or not.
Yeah.
Merlin says, why is Mab literally a Power Rangers villain?
Okay, yeah, that's also Letterboxd.
Yep, there you go. See, and that's the one I was talking about.
I love that someone else had that thought, because I was like, that's an original joke as soon as I thought of it. Turns out it's not. 2.5?
It is 2.5.
Oh,
wow,
okay.
You're fucking killing it today.
All right.
You're using a little bit of the magic yourself there. Got a bit of that Merlin seeing the fucking future over here.
Bling blang. I'm a magic boy.
All right. What's the username of the next user? Can you think?
Is it Arthur?
Jeff Goldblum, brackets no relation, says...
Jurassic Park. I get it.
This may very well be the best movie that Sam Neill's ever started.
Also Letterboxd, and 5 out of 5, surely.
That's 5 out of 5. Well done.
Okay, all right. 3 Letterboxds there. Okay. Or one of them could be yours as well.
That's true. Next review. Can you guess the username for this one?
Laura Dern.
Roy Batty.
What the fuck?
Who is the name of the villain of Blade Runner?
Yeah.
Who says, this is the worst movie I've ever seen.
Oh, that's all they've said.
That's all they've said.
0.5 if it's the worst you've ever seen.
That's 1 out of 5.
Fucking hell.
You were right on every single one up to that point.
I knew it would be something like that. It's got to be a Rotten Tomatoes review because it annoys me.
Yeah. And then Morgan Le Fay, who says, this is my Game of Thrones.
Is that a 5 out of 5 review?
It is! It's a 5 out of 5. Sorry, that's a 5 out of 5 with a heart, Sandra.
Oh.
Because, that one's from Letterboxd.
Yeah, I know it's from Letterboxd.
Yeah, I know you know. Why do you know that,
who wrote
Sandro?
it.
Oh, do you know who wrote that one, Sandro?
I do.
Do you want to
I
reveal
know who wrote that one? It's my
Yeah.
partner's review, you
Yeah! I used your partner's
How the fuck did you find that? Oh, you probably follow.
Because I looked it on
Because you
Letterboxd.
follow everyone on Letterboxd.
Yeah, and I was like,
That's very
that's funny. I'm going to put that in
Yeah.
There you go.
No, that's good. That's a
So
good joke.
obviously you know that one's from Letterboxd.
Yeah. Well, I feel like they all mentioned things from the Sam Neill version. So,
Yeah.
surely the first... I'm going to say that... Okay, firstly, your review is the Power Ranger one.
Ooh, okay.
I think your... Wait, no, that was 2.5, though. You wouldn't rate this 2.5. Your review is the first one. Your review is the first one. Then it goes Letterboxd, Rotten Tomatoes, Letterboxd.
Okay. I'll reveal mine was the first one. You did well on that one.
Okay.
You nearly got that wrong. So
Yep, I did.
I think I'm okay with that. You know, if I almost trick you, that's good enough.
Yep.
The next one was Letterboxd. So you got that one right. The next one was from Rotten Tomatoes. But it specifically mentioned Sam Neill.
Did someone else get confused?
I think many people have reviewed it on Letterboxd as if it was the other movie.
That's incredible.
But it's the wrong... So I think the Letterboxd reviews are like... which explains why it has so many reviews.
Yeah. Because the other one, like... Who the fuck has heard of the other Merlin show from 98?
Yeah, right? So I'm pretty sure most of these are reviewing the Sam Neill one, but the negative ones are probably reviewing the other one.
That's very funny.
Which is extremely funny.
That's amazing. 10 out of 10.
So that was Rotten Tomatoes. The next one was also Rotten Tomatoes. So you did get that one right.
Yeah. And then the final one was Letterboxd.
And then the final one was Letterboxd. Yeah, the one by your partner was Letterboxd, yes.
Well, you know, I'm proud of myself for that. I think
you
that
did
was
really
a good
well.
effort.
You did really well. You got most of that right, yeah.
Also, I've got to go to PAX more often. Take a break, come back.
Yeah.
I'll be good at the reviews, finally. Well, thanks so much for listening to this episode of Oldie Buddy Goodie. This was a fun one. It was a fun episode. If you like the show, check us out on YouTube, Spotify, leave comments, leave reviews, do all those things. All the interactions helps us out. Hey, head to my bloody Instagram, see a photo of Zach and I hanging out with Starkey. We saw our editor.
Oh, yeah,
we all hung out at PAX. It was fun. Also, I do want to say as well, we are both technically got Starkey a present as well, which was...
That's true, actually. Because you didn't fucking buy it. I'm the one who bought it, and I gifted it to you. You hadn't used it at all. You hadn't even taken it out of the fucking packaging. It was like, I'm going to repackage this and give it to fucking Saki. Which was extremely fucking funny, actually.
You gave me a Seinfeld mug in January, and then I realized that it had just been sitting in its packaging.
Yeah, because it's a mug. It was like the worst gift I could have gotten you, you know?
Well... It was on purpose, the worst possible gift, right? Yeah. And so I was like, hey, Starkey's coming down. It'll be pretty funny if I give this to Starkey.
Absolutely. And it was.
So I did.
It was very funny. I was not expecting it.
And he's currently saving up to get his computer fixed, but when his computer is fixed, he'll be streaming again, and I believe that mug's going to be in the background. I'll let Starkey confirm that now.
It may very well be.
So, yeah, look forward
You don't have to. You could just toss it in the bin. I don't mind. Like, just fuck it.
Wow.
Well, actually, you might be saving it so that he can re-gift it to someone else.
That's true. I wonder which of us is going to get it next.
Yeah.
Who's going to get the magical...
Just pass it around to different streamers, you know?
Yeah, that would be pretty funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
If you want to help out the show, though, you can head to patreon.com/oldiebuddygoodypod. Subscribe for a couple dollars, get ad-free episodes, and get bonus episodes. Zach, out on Wednesday, we're reviewing The Wolverine. He's in Japan, baby.
Yeah, what? I sure hope this isn't just a fucking The Wall.
The Great Wall? Yeah, the white savior part of it. Yeah,
Mark Wahlberg.
Sure. That was Matt Damon, but close enough. I want to review that movie at some point. I think I watched the first 2 minutes and turned it off. So I don't know.
Yeah. I think there were ideas in that film. Were they good? Maybe.
I doubt it.
Some of them were. We'd have to review it.
Okay, I don't want to, but sure. Anyway, you can head there, link in the episode description. All right, Zach, next week's episode has been chosen already.
Ooh.
I know, right?
That's
How crazy
unusual.
is that?
I thought I was going to choose the movie.
Well, the reason you're not choosing, Zach, is because next week is not just a regular episode.
Oh.
Next week, I was given a challenge.
A challenge?
Because it's Halloween week. I have to do a horror movie, obviously.
Oh, yes, of course. An extra spooktacular movie.
And now you actually set me up really well. I don't know if it was on purpose or not to pick a horror movie because half of the cast of Merlin are in horror movies.
That's true. That is very true. Yeah.
Yeah. Even fucking the guy who played King Arthur, who doesn't have a Wikipedia page, he's in Wolf Creek. So I'm like, I could have added that as an option. It's crazy.
Yeah, there you go.
So I came up with 10 horror movies. I put them on Patreon. I let our patrons pick, and they picked a tie. And so I did a tiebreaker, and then one movie won. But do you want to know what movies I picked?
Yeah, sure. Toss some movies at me.
Well, Sam Neill's there, so obviously I put in Event Horizon.
Ooh, yes. I'd love to do Event Horizon. That's one of my top picks.
That's a fun... I think I watched that for the first time a couple years ago. A very fun movie.
I'll probably put that in another option at some point.
Yeah, I reckon that would be good. That one almost won. But 2 other movies just snuck above it.
Yeah.
I also put in another Sam Neill film called The Omen 3, The Final Conflict, where Sam Neill plays the Antichrist. But that's the ending of the Omen trilogy, and I don't want to watch a trilogy, so no one voted for it.
Yeah. Oh, thank goodness.
I put in The Brothers Grimm with Lena Headey as the connection. Put in Sweeney Todd with Helena Bonham Carter as the connection. Sleepy Hollow with Miranda Richardson as the connection. So many good horror films with this cast. This movie was a TV movie, so I put in the 1990 It as an option.
Yeah,
that's also a TV movie. So yeah, just a whole bunch of movies. What ended up tying was It and Exorcist 2.
Exorcist 2?
The connection with that is James L. Jones is in that.
Of course.
And so that tied with a classic TV horror movie, and then one of the worst horror sequels of all time. What won with the tiebreaker? I hate to say it, Zach, but it was Exorcist 2. So next week we'll be reviewing Exorcist 2, The Heretic.
Of course.
Which I've always wanted to watch. I love the first Exorcist movie. I've seen it so many times. I've never seen the second one because it's apparently shit. But we'll be reviewing it next week. Zach, have you seen The Exorcist?
I don't know if I have.
Oh, you might need to watch it because I think you should.
I don't know if I... obviously, I've seen clips of it and other things. It's a very famous sort of thing, but...
Yeah.
I don't know if I've actually watched the whole thing.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Well, usually, technically it's my choice, so if it was a sequel, I would only watch the first one and then the second one, and you would just watch the second one. But I've already seen the second one. No, I've already seen the first one a bunch of times, so how about I don't rewatch it, and then you watch the first one, because I think you might need the context, because it's the same characters.
I have a temptation to not watch the first one and watch the second one with no context of the first one to see how I do.
You could do that
and
if you
I
want.
really want to, I can go back and watch the first one to get some more context. I feel like that would be funny.
So one of the reasons I've always wanted to watch Exorcist 2 is because apparently it's really confusing even with the context. It doesn't make any sense. So I think watching it without context will make it even more confusing, which could make it funnier.
I'm just saying. Maybe I'll do that first, and then because if I'm too confused, I might watch the first one.
You know what? That's fair. Or just read a Wikipedia synopsis of the first one. I'm sure that'll do it justice. That incredible movie. All right. Well, for our Halloween special next week, Exorcist 2. I'm actually very excited.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This is gonna be.
I think that's a good movie for a Halloween, though. I like that we're doing that one. That's good.
I would have been happy with any of these, but this is a good one. This is a real good pick. So we'll do that next week. I don't know how to end this. Don't fuck it.
What's the connection?
James L. Jones.
James L. Jones.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He was barely in Merlin, and he's barely an Exorcist. So.
Nice! Yay! Damn! Another connection down for the Star Wars trilogy. We're really knocking those pins down. How will we connect it?
How will we ever do Star Wars? over my dead grave, Zach.
Yeah, that's how. Well, in The Exorcist, dead grave, hopefully there's no incest in this one.